Hey everyone, I'm going to speak about a pretty common scenario today. So we have the email alerts option in a platform. So most customers and internal users as well configure this, and there sometimes are situations where processes get stuck and each of the executions after tend to fail or start giving errors that process is already running with a particular execution ID. Okay, and if you are looking to create alerts on this, how can you go ahead and do so? I have built a very simple process that I'm going to be speaking about. I'm going to share my screen and show that right away. So this is the process that I have currently configured. I have a start with Atomsphere API connector. So this connector is pretty robust and it can do a lot of things, especially if you're trying to query some of the data within Boomi process or effectively get execution IDs, process IDs, whatever it be. You can add filters to get all of that data. So what is the workaround that I have tried and implemented in this process is I have tried to queue it up with Atomsphere API, and once the processes actually queue up in the account, there would be a notification sent out. So we'll be using the notify shape for it. So let's see how we can configure the Atomsphere API. So this is what the WSDL URL would look like. This is a pretty universal URL that we're going to be using. HTTPS api.boomi.com, and this would be our account ID, and we're going to be using the API token. So I use the username from whatever I'm going to be logging into platform with. So this is my username for it, and I provide the password, and the API token would be from the account again. So I created an API token for this particular Atomsphere API to be using that. So I can check that in the accounts, go into Atomsphere API account, and the app API token is what I have created for this. And you can create up to 5 tokens. All right, so that's how I've configured this. And there is, let me quickly go through the operation. So I have just created a filter where atom ID is equal to, so basically on which atom we need to be monitoring this, and execution time, I have set a filter to greater than or equal to, and I have set the status. So is it in pending? Is it in discarded? What is the status of the process? So once you have these filters, you can just click on the connector, go to the parameters, and set values to each of these. So if you can see, I've set the atom ID is equal to the execution property of atom ID and what is the date or time. So I have provided to current date, and also I have set it to discarded. Okay, and that's it. Whenever this happens, we get a notification of it. That's it.